This morning, on the way, I got this apple. And I buy the knife. So, consider this apple as your earth. And I'm cutting this your earth into 4 pieces. This was your earth and I cut it into 4 pieces. So out of these 4 pieces, 3 pieces you all know it's a sea. And agriculture is not possible there. Vegetable is not possible there. So this is the only piece of land you have left for your cultivation. And this piece of land, it consists of close to 11% forest. So I remove this. You have close to 9% pasture land. I cut this. This is the only piece left. You have mountains, rivers, urbanization. Some portion of approximately I cut. This is the only piece now. Okay? Out of this piece, there is a corn, there is a cotton, there is a rice globally, and it has a huge acreage. Please correct me, it has to be close to 20%. So let me cut 20%. This is the only piece you are left for vegetable cultivation. And we were discussing yesterday how tough breeding it is. It is very tough to breed new varieties. So you have varieties bred by the breeders, but you have limited land. And my point to cut this earth, this apple, to give a message that how agronomy can play important role to cultivate vegetable in a very small piece of land. So that was my message. Mr. Mallikarjun, if you are there, please have some clips. This morning, photographs. This morning, my wife was asking, what are you doing there? So I have two photographs for me, Mr. Mallikarjun. You have another mic? Please consider breeders and agronomists as a sort of, if it is a medical term, the physician and the surgeon. Okay? So, me as an agronomist, I am a surgeon. Although I have the varieties in hand, okay, but I will have to do something different. If suppose I wanted to deal with anthracnose, maybe I cannot wait for years together. Whatever the things, whatever the chemistry, whatever the agronomic interventions that are there in my hand, I will have to apply for it. You agree? If suppose leaf curl virus in hot pepper, since long, we are not able to address, please correct me. No, the answer is no. You can have the example of Pusa Jola there. Pusa Jola. Pusa Jola is there in the market since last more than 50 years. It has an extremely good flavor. It has extremely blend of pungency. It has extremely good wrinkles and the color. But no one at this now has replaced Pusa Jola. Or there is no Pusa Jola +1. When me and Dr. Tiku were working with some company, we had a tomato called Avinash 2. And it was at declining stage. So my president asked, what should be the next variety? So there were a lot of discussion. Someone said, we want this and that. But in breeding, everything is not possible. Your wish can be endless, but there are some limitations. So president said, Avinash 2 plus 1 trait should be Avinash 3. And that is the only expectation I have. So this is how the breeding progresses. So The technologies and the adaptation. There are many technologies available. The scientists, they speak a lot. But what are those technologies which are doable, economical for the growers? It's very difficult. And we are saying that increase the yield, but at the same time there is no market, market rates for the grower. So it's a very complex situation. There are many technologies, but transfer of technologies, doability, economics, it's very uncertain. So let us go step by step, doable technologies, affordable, and wherein the farmer will have to incur minimum possible input cost. So that is how it can work. In case of hot pepper, please remember, you have only one chance in the crop life of hot pepper. If something goes wrong in terms of thrips attack, in terms of powdery mildew, in terms of LCV, in terms of chinofora blight, you have the only one chance. And if you got stuck up with these problems, it is very difficult to improve a crop like hot pepper. It's gone. The genetic potentiality will be challenged to a greatest extent. So that is how it works. Let me quote one more example, the smart eye, the fact of Spain versus Israel. This is also agronomy. In Europe, the capsicum is being supplied by either Israel or the Spain. Okay, the clever Israeli, what they do, their sowing and transplanting time is same. But what the Israelis, they do, they keep continuous watch on the Spain cultivation. What is going there? If their crop is grown good, they are supplying it to the market, they take a pause, the Israeli people. They allow the capsicum to drop the flowers by using high irrigation, high nitrogen, and they literally drop down the flowers and they wait for their turn. As soon as the Spain stops or reduces the supply of capsicum to the European market, the Israelis, they are in full form. And remember, capsicum and hot pepper, they understand the very good mathematics. They understand how many fruits I have on my body, what is my height, what is my leaves, how is the chlorophyll content. They are very good in mathematics. So with that approach, the Israelis, they took advantage and they restart their cropping pattern. And as soon as the Spain stops, Israel starts. And that is how they earn the money. So this is nothing but the agronomy, in one way, to my views. It's also agronomy, how you play with the market and how you earn the money. Then, out of these many things, we are missing certain things. I will not be touching everything, but I will be touching few. In case of solarization, let us be honest, who is doing that? In ancient days, some 40, 50 years back, the people used to deep plow their land in the month of April and May and were exposing it to the sunlight. Now these days, it's intensive farming. Nobody has that time. So we are missing this. And perhaps in South India, in south part of India, like Karnataka, Andhra, Telangana, they are blessed with the intense sunshine. For them, it will be extremely good to go for the solarization. Believe me, the scientists are here. If it is a solarization or a crop rotation, you are drastically reducing the spore load in the soil. Thereby, you are minimizing the chances of disease and pest. Okay? And you are also reducing the weeds. So this is the importance of solarization. Solarization is not a simple thing that way for the polyhouses. In case of polyhouses, the solarization is done for 60 days. Okay? And what they do is, and what the recommended practice is, the polyhouses are fully irrigated, heavily irrigated, and then the transparent mulch is placed for 2 months. Okay, and that is the way they get their soil raised, and thereby reducing the load of nematode attack. Another thing is use of farmyard manure. Who does it? My grandfather never used micronutrient. He used to put and used to have a livestock only for the reason of FIM, farmyard manure. And the crop like hot pepper, its requirement is 5,000 kilograms of well decomposed fertilizer per acre at the time of soil preparation. Green manuring. They were discussing about the problem of nematode. Please remember and please note that somewhere, somehow, green manuring with the help of sun hemp has connection with reducing the nematode load in the soil. Okay? Some beneficial fungus during the process of sun hemp decomposition, they feeds on the nematode, and thereby you can reduce the nematode load in the soil. Now straight I will go to YPR management, young plant management, and this is one of the favorite subject. As someone said, we have the worst infrastructure in the country in terms of the net houses, the poly houses, and someone also said, and he's very right, the doors are open, otherwise there has to be two-door system. But doors are open, okay? And there is no maintenance on the structure and all. So all the sucking pests, they are freely invited to get inside and have attack. So nursery has to be in the poly house, if it is possible, with two door. And door has to be all the time closed, no entry or the restricted entry. So there is some portion which is covered with the net, insect net, which is the 50 mesh, and which is for the ventilation. So you must have your tray on the platform, which will help you extremely good aeration and water drainage. Okay? And there will be ease in operations. So that is how this type of structure is required. At the time of buying the seedlings, please look at the root system. Don't look at the leaves and leaves color. Please look at the roots and its color. And remember, there can be two colors. One is whitish creamy color of the roots, and another can be slightly brown colored. The brown color indicates that something is wrong with the root system, and they are not fully working. So cream color, the whitish cream color root system, they are efficient, they are working hard, the absorption is in place. So those are the indications. And let me also visit the challenge of infection in the nursery. It is possible. But if you maintain polyhouse nurseries, the chances are less. Someone said that immediately after transplanting, there can be attack of viruses. Okay, but if it is a TYLCB in case of tomato, it takes 40 days to have a reflection, to express the symptoms. 40 days, 40 long days. So from that time onwards, you have at least some chance to get rid of that early infection. And we are also talking of, can we vaccinate the seedling in the nursery? Vaccination in terms of injecting, I am not talking of that. I am talking of something different. Vaccination of seedling in the YPR, it means that one day before delivery of the seedlings, can the seedlings be sprayed for some specific insecticide or fungicide? In case of cabbages and cauliflower, wherein diamond back moth or the Plutella is a serious concern, my recommendation, and we proved in some of the nurseries, that let us go a simply application of neem oil one day before transportation or the delivery. Thereby, actually diamond back moth, it's a very clever insect. It has the survey, it keeps moving in the field, and if there is some smell, they will not dare to enter inside. So that is how vaccination of seedling in the nursery will help, and for each crop, the chemistry will be different. So the agronomist must understand how to talk to the plant. And we can talk. The seasoned agronomist can talk to plant. What is happening? How is the growth? What is the age? How is the growth? What is the chlorophyll content? What is the stem girth? All those parameters gives you some indication what is happening in the plant, whether it is happy or unhappy. Yeah. So, as I said earlier, breeding may not have answer for all the problems. So, and it is not required. In some cases, the agronomist or the physician is sufficient. In case of anthracnose, wherein it can be addressed to the tune of 70 to 80%. Someone yesterday told that there is a loss by anthracnose to the tune of 50%. But out of that 50%, 80% of anthracnose can be controlled with the help of Amistar top. And we had this experiment in Indonesia, okay, on the variety called 2043, which is already, to some extent, tolerant to anthracnose, but Amistar top can take care of anthracnose to the tune of 70 to 80%. Okay, so you have some solution. All the solution let us not address by the breeding. Let it be some problems for the fungicides, some problems with the insecticides. That combination, that blend can be there. Second is the Chinoflora blight. Precision agronomy and harnessing the genetic potential. I wanted to quote a good example here, Chinoflora blight, everyone knows it. But what does it mean, precision agronomy? By the way, agronomists must have the knowledge of pathology, entomology, soil science, climate, fertilizer management, irrigation management. He's all in one. So he must have working knowledge of plant, diseases also and pest also. In case of Chinoflora blight, much can be talked of, but the turning point or the precision agronomy is one turning point called the fall of petals on the soil. The first infection of Chinoflora blight must be on just fallen petals of the hot pepper, and that is the starting point. And that is why we as agronomists are recommending at the flowering stage, go for spray of Amistar, okay? Or, yeah, how many minutes? 1 minute, okay. So that is the turning point to kill this disease with the help of Amistar at flowering stage only. And this was my last slide. Thank you so much. Can I have a round of applause for the breeding community? क्योंकि मैं सवेरे से देख रहा था कि ये applause में कुछ दम ही नहीं था. And applauses are really tonic for the presenters. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. And we appreciate your the practical concern in overall management of the crop, including the pest and diseases, the role of agronomist. And thank you very much.